Hi, Leather Rokk here. That was Tabby Boy. Behind me is Cassie. Welcome to my channel. Do you like my makeup today? Take a good look at it. I love this tropical look. It's warm, it's got your golds, it's got pink, it's got orange, it's got burgundy. Well, we achieved this look with the Galaxy Chic palette from B&H Cosmetics. I have shown it to you before. Let me show this here. These colors are really kind of sunsetty, kind of makes you think of the islands, makes you think of summer. And with all this cold weather we've been having, I could use a little summer. I don't know about you. So let's get started. Well, it's nice I don't have to tie my hair up for the occasion. And, you know, Tabby Boy, he's gone that away. Got my trusty coconut oil here. Got some wet ones. Got some tissue. Okay. Tabby Cassie's still asleep. She's not real hardcore asleep. Because we know when the tail's wagging, they're not totally asleep. I notice cats can tell when you're talking about them. But you know, neither of these cats will come when called. Tabby Boy, he'll deliberately be quiet. And it's quite maddening. Sometimes he'd be under the bed even and I'd be calling him or somebody'd be calling him and he's quiet. I don't like that. You know cats, you know how pig-headed and stubborn they can be. Yeah, I'm still doing these things late at night. Right now, my clock says 6:21 a.m. Supposed to set out the trash and the recycling. And I don't know how soon the truck's going to be here. I may or may not get it out. Worst comes to worst, I'll just drop off the recycling. There's a certain business close by. I'll just sneak it in their bins. And I really don't feel too guilty about that because we had a recycle bin for paper and we had a recycle bin for the plastic cans, glass, and that stuff. And one of the bins went and got legs and walked away. And I know these are supposed to be single stream recycling where I live, but I prefer having my cans, bottles, plastic in something, and the paper in something else. I don't like mixing everything together. So what I do is I save up all my papers and I put it in this business's bins. You know, I know when nobody's around. Okay, I got the stuff off. Now, what I used for my foundation was a combination of the Sassy and Chic BB Cream and B&H Cosmetics Studio Pro Total Coverage Concealer that I've been really nursing. I only have a little bit left of this stuff. I really love it. I love the fact that it comes in a very nice shade range, and the shade I got was at the time the lightest it ran. Now it runs a half a shade lighter, and they also come in a pure white. However, I got it at a really decent price, like under $3, and now I never catch a sale that has all the colors. I would want the color I'm using, the step lower, and or the white, because if you have a white, you can mix that with if you ever have any other concealers. And considering I got a new concealer that I don't know if it's going to be a color match for me anyway. It's always good to have a white. Plus, whites are really good for cut creases. You know, I still have my Ben Nye cream makeup, but those things will last you a real long time. But I'm still, because I got it in a costume shop in New York City, it kind of has some sentimental value. And I got it at a Halloween sale. So I got something that was not only very useful, but at a really good price. And for New York, even, where you figure things tend to be expensive, and then plus their sales tax, that's what, close to 10% now? Maybe 9% because they have the city and state. So I hate it when the mascara ends up smudging. Seems to me that's kind of unavoidable. Oh, save. Okay. Oh, okay, I thought I dropped something. Alright. I really need to make up for the fact that that BB cream is too dark. I'm probably going to have to do this more than once because there are fallouts from these shadows. Another shade. Alright. The first color that we're going to use, I want to make sure that I have the right brush. Okay, yes. First color from this palette we're going to use. First of all, we're going to use a brush from Vivace. This is good for doing some deposit of color, but it's also good for blending. It's good for sweeping. I like it for the crease. But I'm going to use this for the inner corner. There is a shade, the closest, one of the neutral shades in here. It's called Sun. It's like a metallic beige, metallic golden beige. And I'm going to get it kind of heavy. Going to get it on the inside. To about, before your iris starts. And feather it out kind of. You don't want to get it covering all over here because you really want these shadows to stick. Okay, next thing we're going to use, this is a Wet n Wild brush. And this is supposed to be, they call it a crease brush, but it's so fluffy, it really doesn't concentrate things in the crease. We're going to dip into this orange looking shade called Venus. You want to really try to pack it on because this shows up kind of transparent, and I'm trying to get it to look more opaque. Right at the edge of where your previous color was, you want to start with this. You want to do this about the length of the brush, about the width of the brush. Wiggle it a little bit to get it more intense. Carry it up to just past the crease. Sweep it back and forth, back and forth. Probably going to want to get some more on this brush. Wiggle it a little just to blend the line where the one ends and this begins some. Don't want to move this too far because you want to make sure that the next color can stick. This is another brush by Vivace. It both deposits and adds color and sweeps and does blending. And there's a red color here called Jupiter. And get it on both sides on the brush. You want to make sure this shows up. You want to touch the orange shade. You want to see where it is on this eye. Okay, I definitely want to start at the pupil. So come in here, take over some of where the orange was. I'm going to probably get some more of the red. You want to start at the pupil because you can see that the pupil is where the red started here. And angle it slightly outward and slightly up. You know what? Looking at the other eye, I realize I need to go back with the orange, go back up a little bit. You don't want to really touch the brow bone with these. You want to leave some skin space. Okay, got space for one more color. This is the brush I'm using. This is an Avon brush. It's two-sided. One side is a packing and blending brush that tapers up kind of so you can even do crease work with it. The end you can use either for a pot gel eyeliner or you can use it to get a very fine line of shadow under the eye. And here you're using the tip of this and you're dipping into the shade called Aphrodite. Very, very similar. Most of this Aphrodite is the one that I use when I want to use it wet. When I don't want to use it wet, I'll go ahead and use a Prometheus. But we're using Aphrodite, even though we're not wetting this. And we're overlapping where the red was and we're going outward. And we're using our eyebrow as a guide. Because you want to get the same angle, whatever the angle was here, you want to get here. You're not going to really try to blend these too much because you'll find that the colors look similar enough from far away that they'll seem to blend themselves. You just want to make sure if this is more of a straight angle and this is curved, just use your finger to correct it to make it go more straight. You're probably going to have to go back with the other colors to try to make them match this side. You know what? I'm going to go in with the first color, the color on the inside here, the sun. You want to get not only the color, which may or may not show up depending on how this contrasts with your skin tone, but you want to take advantage of the shimmer of these shadows. Now, sometimes you may want to do a brow bone color. But you have to decide whether you could even tell the difference. It depends on your skin tone. It really does. If you want to do that, you can use a real fine brush like this, like a brush that you could use as a lip brush. And you could use one of these colors here, like Cosmic, the lavender, or you can use the white from the earth. Because you see how earth has white and the blue and white stripes on it. If you use the gold here, I think that would be too dark and it would blend in here so much. So I'm going to see if you can see any difference. No, You know what? No, I'm not going to do an additional brown bone color. But we do need to do some eyeliner. For the eyeliner, I use my Wet n Wild H2O proof. Like I said, has never been waterproof on me. And so for me to go outside where the air is going to blow against my eyeballs and my eyeballs are very watery, this would not be practical. It would not be practical in the wintertime with the wind blowing. It would not be practical in the summertime with my lack of air conditioning. But one way that, and another thing is it's very hard to get a very, very, very fine line because this will feather on you. But what it's good for is if you're just doing something for around the house or you're just going up to 7-Eleven or something and you don't need long wear and have to worry about it smudging. It's pretty easy to take off because it's not really waterproof, at least not for me. Oh, probably can't even see what I'm doing. And want to let it dry before you open your eye because it really sucks to smudge things and then have to worry about taking that off without messing up your makeup. It really sucks if you're rushing to go out. You got a club to go to or something, and all of a sudden you do that. You open up your eye too soon, and your eyeliner hasn't dried, and you got to deal with the smudge, and that really sucks. Oh, this was my eyebrow color. B&H Cosmetics, Lacquer, uh, Lacquer, all right. Luxe Lacquer, and the color is called Blackberry, or Black Currant, excuse me. The lipstick, this is new. I got this last month. B&H liquid lipstick, and the color is, you know what? I told you last week when I saw it, I don't have a magnifying glass here, so I can't tell you. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Oh, Agatha. Oh, somebody asked where these came from. These actually came from Paralyzed Veterans of America. That is PVA is one of the charities my father used to support. They used to be called Disabled American Veterans, but they changed their name. Anyway, they still send us things begging for money. They don't seem to get it that some people's financial situations have changed through the years. But anyway, yeah, these were a freebie, and they were laying around the house, and somebody suggested that maybe when I'm having a problem with the fine print that I should keep one of these around. So when nobody's looking, I'll grab this, but I also have a little magnifying glass too. And there's also those sheets, which some of them are credit card size, and some of them were actual piece of paper size that you can use to increase the size of print when you read magazines or newspapers and stuff. So, yeah. I know I'm going to eventually have to get my eyes fixed, but that's going to be before I get the driver's license again, to get the jitney, to get the hell out of here, to get back to California, blah, 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 blah. So, but it's not in my immediate plans because I got too many other things to do. So, so anyway, the lipstick I'm wearing, that goes on as matte, and I wanted to add some moisture to it, so I used this lip gloss, and this is from the B&H Cosmetics Nude Rose line, and the color is called Josie, and it's a sheer lavender pink kind of gloss, and usually I'm always afraid of whatever lipstick I might be putting on underneath it coming off on the doe foot applicator. So what I do is I get the gloss and I put it on the back of my hand, and then I apply it that way. That way it just doesn't get stained. So one time I even also used this to color my eyebrows before putting a purple powder on them to color them. But be advised that you do that, it's not waterproof. So one time I used a liquid lip stain as eyebrow color, and I went swimming, and it washed right off. Ooh, gotta fix this. My eyebrow came off a little when I removed my eyeshadow. And glad I caught that. I hate having asymmetrical brows, just gets on my last nerve. So this is what I did for my cheeks. First thing I did was I used the brush that I usually use for my highlighter, and I have this really special E.L.F. blush that is almost like a highlighter, and it's called Giddy Gold. No, wait a minute. Get those glasses again. Where the hell are they? Here they are. Yeah, Giddy Gold. Huh. I hardly ever use this because it's too dark to be a highlighter, and it's kind of too bright to be a blush. But what I did was I touched it just with the tip of the brush, and I hit it just here and here, but because I wanted something obviously that would go well with this. Then after that, I dipped into my B&H Cosmetics Special Occasion Cheek and Eye Palette, and there I used this kind of muted pink here, touched that, and I just the outer third here and here. Then after that, I used for my highlighter, before that, I used my contour that I usually use when I use a contour. This is a CoverGirl Professional Eye Enhancers. In other words, it's an eyeshadow, and the color is called Grape Jammin. And I use this tiny little brush, hit it like this, and do a slash like this, and a slash like that. And this probably lasts me another 10 years. Jammin Improvisation. It has all the things that a cool tone, pale skin person would want in a contour, because it is cool toned and it blends out really nicely. What am I doing this for? So for my highlighter, I'm using the Blacklight Highlight Palette from B&H Cosmetics, and I'm using the color called Laser. This way, hit it here, 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 and here. Now, usually by the time I've gotten as far as doing the highlight on, my foundation has started settling into lines and accentuating them and making me look 10 years older than I need to be. So what you do is you take a clean finger and you press here, here, those dreaded 11s. Press, 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 being careful not to smudge your eyebrows. And if you see any place where maybe your foundation needs to be touched up a little, or maybe a little bit more of the concealer, then you do so. Final check for the smudgies. Now, time for mascara. And I set it down someplace. See, I had everything in that. Oh, here it is. Now, this wasn't the mascara that I really wanted to use. I was looking for it. I have so many things set aside and moved, and set aside and moved. And when it came time for filming, this was the only halfway decent one I could find. This is from LA Colors, and it's called Big Fool Lash. And it's toward the end of the time that I can use it. I actually had to move aside the part of it that scrapes off the excess, because it was so thick that I wasn't able to really get any on my brush. So now it's still kind of thick and clumpy, but it's what I can grab right now. So now I'm not going to put a coat and a coat and a coat and a coat and a coat. I'm just going to put enough on that I can see it. So long as I don't smudge it. Okay. Well, what do you think? Nice tropical look using the Galaxy Chic palette from B&H Cosmetics. If you like those warm colors, those sunset colors, the colors that make you think about being on a beach in an island someplace, instead of these crappy cold winter temperatures that we're having, you might try a look like this. And it's really great if you want to color coordinate it with your pinks and your oranges and your orangey reds and your burgundies. And that purse of mine that has all those colors and the zebra stripes, it would go great with this. So, I like this. This is all one necklace. It looks like it's more than one, but it's all one. Okay, if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And when you do, maybe you might want to subscribe to me if you're not already. And if you do subscribe, hit that bell notification. That way you won't miss anything. Love to have you join me on my adventures. Till then, Cassie the cat and Tabby Boy and me, Leather Brock, telling you goodbye. Take care.